Hey everybody, I just want to make a quick video about the RMJ, the Ryan M. Johnson Tactical Snuggles 18-inch Warhammer, because I didn't see a video on this thing when I was researching it, and well, it deserves a video because this thing is incredible. So now over here is the RMJ Shrike, full size 15-inch Tomahawk that has a blade on the front and a spike on the back. But this is the RMJ Snuggles, which is a Warhammer, so it's different. This is more of a blunt force object on this side. There's a close up there. So this is the front of this. And the end here, is a nice. It comes to an edge. It's not sharpened, but it comes to an edge. So when you bust through something and pull back, it's coming to a point there, instead of being a blunt bottom. So basically, what this is it's a melee kind of a melee tool. It's just a multi-tool. This is a multi-tool for a lot of things. I've used it to bust concrete open. It's basically a pickaxe on this end and a serrated warhammer hammer, like a serrated hammer on the other side. So it's very good for crushing stuff or poking holes in metal and tough objects, and which sounds like a crazy thing to do, but it's actually crazy how many uses there are for this thing. When you live on a big property, I live on 3 acres right now. I've used this thing to punch holes in my fire can, like a big 55-gallon steel drum. I've used this to poke holes in it. I've used this end to crush pieces of concrete that were too big for me to lift off, that were just like trash that have been left behind and stuff like this. So let's talk. Oh, also, this is the Monkey's Edge version of this hammer. So, I mean, if this, as if this thing could be any cooler, this is the Monkey's Edge version with the grenade grip, this grip. So this grip is in G10. Those are like T25 hardened, I believe they're titanium screws, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. Even if they were stainless, it doesn't matter for that function there. But awesome screws. It's like a bronze kind of finish on it. The Monkey's Edge frag pattern. This is G10, full G10. This whole thing is 18 inches long, which makes it. So I would say most tools used by like the Navy SEALs and stuff like that are around 13 to 15 inches, or 15. I would say 13 to 18 inches. This is a 15-inch. Used by some of them, and this is an 18-inch tool. And an 18-inch tool is just, I would say this is a large size tool, but still portable by one person. Easily fits in a backpack, or even there's a belt rig. There's no sheath for this, but you could rig this up for your belt if you wanted to carry it, like in a military kind of situation. But let's talk about the construction of this thing. This thing is one piece of 80 CRV2 steel. That is incredible. I mean, this is such a big, it's full tang. 80 CRV tool steel is basically Swedish tool steel, super high-end tool steel, very, very well known for its toughness. And this thing only basically requires toughness. It requires a good amount of hardness, but a lot of toughness. Hardness is pretty easy to get. Toughness is not. 80 CRV2 is the perfect steel for this. Would I like this if it was a Magna Cut? I mean, maybe, but I don't. but I don't think it'd be worth it. I don't think it makes any sense. Now, the only part that's not one piece besides the handle are these flanks on the head here. See, so it's 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. And the middle piece is the full tang part, right? The middle piece is full tang. That's the same piece that it goes all the way down there. But the sides are machined in that 80 CRV2 and then bolted on with hardened bolts, with hardened screws and bolts there. Now, if you are thinking in your head, well, gee, that seems like it's a bad idea to put the bolts there where you're going to hit it. No, 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 no. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Obviously, that's thought of. This thing is so well built, overbuilt, that to shear off this piece from this piece would require a 50-ton hydraulic press that can exert 150,000 pounds on that object right there, on that edge. So unless you're going to put 150,000 pounds of shear force, you are not going to shear off these bolts. That's how strong this rig is right here. It's truly, truly, truly incredible. This is probably one of the most overbuilt hand tools that you could possibly own. And it's useful, but I saved up for a long time to get this because I am a collector of really cool, well-machined, handcrafted objects made in America. That's what I collect. That's my passion. So this is just one of the pinnacles of this. Now the Shrike is honestly even cooler. Okay, I'll show you that in a sec. But the Snuggles is just so ridiculous because it's the 18-inch. There's a Cuddles that's a 15-inch, right? That's 15. But this is the 18, and I just might as well go for the 18 if you're going to go for this, to have as much leverage as possible if you want to smash something. Now you should be careful while using this because it can hurt your hands. You know, if you hit something hard, you need to be wearing like impact-resistant gloves or something like that. The end of this pick as well, it's very different than the Shrike. The Shrike is like a bladed pick on the end. It's like a blade, sharpened. But this is not sharpened in the same way. This is more blunt. And the edge there, I'm trying to get this in focus for you guys. The edge there, you can see it's a flat edge. And then milled out. You can see the machine marks, you know, where it took off the sections. Isn't that cute? What a cute little tool. I was smashing some wood before. Yeah, so anyway, not much to it. Basically a hammer with a pickaxe on the end, super overbuilt, made of tool steel that you will never ever break or bend. You could literally put this thing in a vise, bend it that much. You know, you could bend it like 45 degrees, 50 degrees, and bend it back, and it would be 100% good to go, still usable tool. Now, I don't know how you're going to do that, but that's how tough this steel is. It's bendable, you know, very tough, and it's not it's a little bit soft on when you bring it into a fine edge, but that's not, you don't have any fine edges on this. So it's only problem for you when you have it in a knife. Now, I guess I'll show you the Shrike real quick, just as a comparison. I do plan on putting a custom lanyard on this. There it is. This is also 80 CRV2. I'll give you the wider view of it here. All these tools are extremely well balanced. You can balance them on a finger if you're not clumsy like me. Super well balanced. They feel absolutely weightless in your hand when your hand is in the center of gravity. Weightless, effortless to move. This is the perfectly designed tomahawk, and I'm not just saying that. Like every tomahawk designer has basically come to the conclusion that there's no way to improve this thing. To try to change it would just make it worse. These physics of this are just unmatched. Just look at the shape. It has the metal in the exact right places and the mass in the exact right places for where you are supporting the edge and want strength. And that's what I mean when I say that the edge of the Shrike is so different. I'm trying to get the shot for you. You see that comes to a point, like a parrot. It's like a parrot beak on the end of that. Totally different. This thing is This thing is much more, scares me to handle, so I don't handle it that much. I only take it out, I usually take it out when I want like a super lightweight axe when I'm outside, so. When I need to chop a little bit of wood, but also might have to lift some logs, like when I'm cleaning out from a storm, because I can use that spike to, like, you know, punch it through a log and then kind of drag it, kind of move it. Yeah, so that's the Shrike 15-inch Snuggles, 18-inch from RMJ Tactical. RMJ is a freaking awesome company. I believe it's made in Tennessee. Their products are unbelievably well made, heirloom quality. By the way, this handle is made of rubber, not G10, so it's more comfortable, impact resistant, and also this is fully insulated, so you could use this to bust through a whole electrical panel, taking out a whole electrical panel with this thing by chopping through it, which this can chop through metal easily. You can poke through the hood of a car with this and then chop the rest of the hood open with that if you had to, or break someone out of a car. Same thing with the window. To break a car window with this, you would punch this through the edge, the corner edge, to bust someone. Let's say your child is stuck in a car. I have one of these in my car in the small size, a 13-inch, the 15-inch. I got a 13-inch in the car. Because if someone is stuck inside a car and I can't get through the doors, one way is I can poke a hole through the corner of the front windshield, and then you chop them out. You chop up and you chop out, and you chop a square, and then you can you just chop the edge out, and you can push it in, and then you can rescue them. So this is true. These are truly unbelievably reliable emergency rescue tools, in my opinion. You know, unless you're a Navy SEAL who needs this for self-defense, you know, but I'm not, and most people are not. These are extremely good emergency tools to have, and this too. When you need a job done sometimes only this tool can get the job done. Even though it looks like it can do no jobs, it can also do so many jobs. This as well, you know, blade on the front, an edged pick on the back. You don't think that you need this thing, but sometimes, like, if you have to poke a hole through metal, what the hell are you going to use? A knife? You're not going to use a knife for that. You don't have enough mass behind it. You're going to hurt yourself doing that. So by having these overbuilt tools that are also more on the full size end, rather than, say, trying to poke a hole with my umnums on, which I could probably, which I really, really could probably, but I might hurt myself with that. I am going to get it in literally one shot with this thing. I probably use this if it's an even tougher material, because this is not sharpened on the end. This I prefer to go through a softer object because it's so sharp, right? To not blow the edge. But this, the edge is kind of already blunted a little bit. So I'd use this. This Snuggles is better at poking holes through harder materials than the Shrike. The Shrike is better at softer, So as much as I could poke a hole with the umnums on, like the metal would stand up, the knife itself would absolutely stand up. It'd be my hand that'd be the weakness, and I would need to go so many times that I would probably hurt my hand. Whereas there's enough, I can put so much force behind that point because of the size of the tool, the mass of the tool, and the angle that everything is. The angles on this thing, these things are so perfect, so perfectly dialed in. They're designed with CAD, and they're just beautifully machined. I mean, absolute perfection. Like a freaking Rolex of a hammer. That's what this is. So, I'll leave you with that. Good to see you guys, and hope you learned something. Leave a comment if you have any questions at all. Let me know if you want to see anything else, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one. Peace.